Hello, I'm Kristen M. Roach, and this is a letter from my studio to you. It was written on May 5th, 2026. How are you? I am well. You know, one of the biggest fears about the residency at White Rock Conservancy was that once home, everything would return to normal, and that has, with much relief, not been the case. The painting continues, and I am well on my way to finishing 20 paintings by the June 11th opening reception for the entirety of the work, and that'll be at Little Woods Herbal in downtown Ames, Iowa. And while I'm not quite ready to share that with you, past and current patrons will get first pick of the originals in an online preview over on my Substack. And that'll be about the week before the release. Wow, that was a run-on sentence. I do have many paintings, though, that I've not yet shared. I do have many... my own writing. Okay, I do have many paintings that I've not shared the story of yet, and so that's what I'll be doing today. During the residency, I rekindled my joy of researching and sharing the stories of the plants I paint and decided that when I sell the work, I'll send the letter I write about it to its new owner and home. With that in mind, I've renewed my commitment to writing and sharing these letters at least once a month, and I'll end this intro update here and share the letter that I've written to you about one of the original paintings in the series, Bloody Dock, aka Wood Sorrel. Sincerely, Kristen M. Roach. P.S. Zine Club is going to be Friday, June 4th from 4 to 7 p.m. Make sure to go check that out. Oh, and the distro will also be open during that time. Come say hi, and the details for this and any other upcoming events are over at kristenmroach.com/events. Okay, on to the next letter. Here we go. Here is a double. How are you? Seriously though, how are you? I am still well. Anyway, have you ever heard of Bloody Dock? What a name. We had been in our house for over 10 years when it volunteered to grow in the garden. My favorite type of plant, one that I didn't have to plant at all. Having no idea what it was, I turned to my field guide, which was, as the saying goes, written by someone who doesn't need it and is used by someone who doesn't understand it. And that was definitely the case. I was unable to differentiate between undulate and create leaves and all the other botany-related terms, so I turned to the internet. It seemed not a weed, and as it grew, the leaves turned with red, reminded me of the oxidation pattern on oolong tea leaves. A friend from Chicago chimed in and suggested the sorrel family. So with that key information in hand, I was able to get to the correct spot in my guide, and there were many types of sorrel, it turns out. But by carefully going through each one and looking at the plant with magnifying glass, I found the specific plant that had made its home in my yard. The Latin name is, I'm not going to try to pronounce that, and it grows about 18 inches tall, though I swear this one stretched taller. So that was according to one source. And then another source says it can grow up to 3 feet tall. So I'm not misremembering it. It did get as big as burdock. It loves the sun and it will bloom in the height of the summer. Usually an annual in Iowa. It may overwinter in the right conditions. It's recommended to trim old leaves to stimulate new young showy ones that are like the really bright red fun color, and to trim off the flowers to prevent it from self-seeding. It's not considered invasive, but it is an aggressive spreader. Like French sorrel, the young spring leaves are technically edible, but here's the thing. The leaves, particularly the old mature leaves, contain acylic acid, and that is like an indigestible crystal that can end up in your kidneys and really mess you up. It binds to calcium and other minerals, which can cause deficiencies over time in your body. And, your body might process it. It is in many green vegetables after all. For instance, like spinach. But if you're chowing down on wood sorrel every single day, or like a wood sorrel salad every single day, you might end up with some kidney stones or worse. I came across a study about acylic acid levels and, like how the different level and its effects on the body, and how like different levels are in different vegetables. And the article actually specifically called out wood sorrel as having, quote unquote, very high density. Oddly enough, my body is already prone to calcium leaching. So I found this really interesting, particularly that some teas and common leafy green vegetables can have a similar effect in large quantities over time. So after much digging, I put the topic to rest as one of those moderation is key, and too much of anything can be damaging. Turns out that the best advice is to eat the rainbow from time and all the time, and even, sorry, my writing. Turns out the best advice is to eat the rainbow, which can include from time to time, even bloody dock. No, that's still not right. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. Turns out the best advice is to eat the rainbow, and from time to time, even bloody dock can find its way onto your plate without ill effect. I think it's just a weirdly written sentence. Yeah, okay. Well, that's what happens when you just write it freehand and don't edit. Now, this was one of the first plants that went from like an unknown weed to known. Something about discovering its name, like that first introduction when a stranger becomes an acquaintance or even a potential friend. We were getting to know each other. Morning painting did well to deepen that relationship, and I delighted in the shifting moods as the light went from morning to noon and the way the leaves went from like erect and flopping over as they aged. And I'm pleased to now consider it, though they're not native to Iowa, a treasured volunteer in my garden. I'll be glad to see it return someday, maybe at my new home, and there's a picture of Bloody Dock painting I did. It's kind of collaged into the letter, and it says Bloody Dock 2021 gouache painting underneath it. Sincerely, Kristen M. Roach. Sources, and then I list the sources, which include the University of Wisconsin-Madison Extension of Horticulture and the Asian Pacific Journal of Clinical Nutrition. In an article that I referenced for the salicylic acid in foods and its effects on humans. So that is all for now. If you'd like to see this and other letters that I've written about different plants and a variety of other topics related to being creative, professional, and a plant lover, you can visit my Substack. It's kristenmroach.substack.com, or you can stop by my website to see my other works, upcoming events, prints for sale, and that is at kristenmroach.com. All right, until next time, bye.